Very good afternoon to you. You are right on time for 1 p.m. bulletin. This is TV47 at 1. My name is Wakio Mzenge. Let's begin our bulletin. Kiharu Member of Parliament and People's Party leader Ndindi Nyoro is set to kick off political tours to popularize his newly launched party just a day before DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua and his team begins their tour of Murang'a. The move has sparked fresh political tension, with DCP leaders publicly opposing Nyoro's initiative and linking his party to President William Ruto's UDA. The tours mark the latest chapter in the growing rivalry within the Mount Kenya political landscape. Now let's cross over and join Mike Kagwongo, who is standby to give us an update. Mike Kagwongo?
Thank you so much, Wakio. Indeed, as you can see, this is a procession from Mbombo area in Murang'a, headed to Murang'a town, and this is Kiharu Member of Parliament's first rally as after he unveiled his new People's Party of Kenya. As you can see, the car behind us, this is Ndindi Nyoro and his allies trying to traverse along this Murang'a road, making our way to Murang'a town to find a place he can ostensibly speak to people on a safer ground, and where he had already planned to meet his supporters. This is his very first rally after he unveiled his People's Party of Kenya, trying to popularize his party in a bid to make sure that, of course, he comes back to people. As you know, charity, of course, begins at home, and this is his home, Kiharu constituency, that is before he embarks on campaigns across the country. As he mentioned the day before yesterday, is that he will be traversing also across different constituencies, different counties, to make sure that he comes back to the people, explaining that whatever we did promise in 2022 has not yet been delivered according to his manifesto. Because during the 2022 campaigns, he was in the forefront of making sure that President William Ruto was elected. And just to let you know is that actually he is one of the MPs. He was the only MP who never printed brochures and posters in the run-up to 2022 general election, because the Kiharu constituents had already accepted him, and they sent him across the country to make sure that he campaigned for the then Deputy President William Ruto. And during those moments, he said that he traversed across all constituencies to popularize UDA party, trying to make sure that he, according to the manifesto of the big plan, the plan that was unveiled by the then Deputy President William Ruto in Kasarani, will have familiarized to the people. But those promises that they did give to Kenyans, according to him, is that they have not been realized by President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza government. But now he claims that he is joining opposition, and this is his very first rally across the country as he tries to make himself familiar with the people and make the People's Party of Kenya familiar to the people. So we shall be following him along Murang'a town, and after Murang'a town, we will have to understand apparently where he will be headed to across the country. I mean, across the county of Murang'a. They call it the county. But according to the plan, is that he will be speaking to Murang'a constituents, Murang'a town supporters, and then he will be, of course, leading us to wherever he will be headed to. This comes day before DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua is also expected to come here tomorrow to popularize his DCP party as well, and speak to his supporters. That is a rally that was actually had been planned to happen today, but due to this Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro's rally, it was postponed to tomorrow. So this is key. This is, as you can see, he is now entering Murang'a town. This is the mood of the people here, and they were already waiting for him. As you can see, the youths here and there trying to stop him so that he can ostensibly speak to them and explain his manifesto. As if you can remember, a day before yesterday, he did give and outline his manifesto about education, about agriculture and employment, youth employment, and so forth. So today is the day he is going to give out or outline all these manifesto plans to his own people of Murang'a County. So as you can see, we have already entered Murang'a town. These are residents, as you can see, residents of Murang'a town definitely were anxiously waiting for him to make sure that they normally say ni wetu wa kujizalia, this is our own. So as I was speaking to most of them, they actually are very optimistic that even if he decides to vie for presidency, definitely they will give him their votes as deputy or as president of the Republic of Kenya. Word has it that he will also be vying for presidency in the forthcoming general election with his People's Party of Kenya party. So we are waiting to see his declaration in the coming days as to whether he will definitely be vying for presidency or not. But
thank you so much, Mike Agwongo, there in Murang'a town, and we'll be keeping up to date with what is happening there. Thank you so much, Mike Agwongo. Moving on, the government has committed billions of shillings to reduce maternal and newborn deaths with a focus on free maternity services, medical supplies, family planning, and more health workers. Speaking on day 2 of the Kenya Health Summit, First Lady Rachel Ruto said health policies must be measured by the lives they save. The government has set aside about 12 billion Kenya shillings for maternal and newborn health, including 4 billion for level 2 and 3 facilities, 1 billion for maternal commodities, 2.5 billion for family planning, and 5 billion to recruit 5,000 midwives and nurses. The Ewene initiative targets a reduction in maternal and newborn deaths by 2028, with 26 counties identified as underperforming.
In officially opening this summit yesterday, reaffirmed his commitment to strengthening healthcare and improving the well-being of every Kenyan. In healthcare, a promise is not measured by the words we speak. It is measured in lives. It is the mother who walks home with her newborn, the premature baby who defies the odds, the patient who finally gets care when they need it most, not when it's convenient for the system. It is therefore incredible to join you for this important conversation, from promise to practice, delivering quality health services for every Kenyan. I relate to it because I know that feeling of sitting outside a hospital room and waiting for news. I know the prayer that a mother makes when someone she loves is in the hands of a healthcare worker. And that is why when we talk about healthcare systems, I not only hear the language of policies and numbers, I hear the voices of families. In every facility we strengthen, every healthcare worker we support, every service we bring closer to our people brings us one step closer to the Kenya we want for our children. A policy becomes meaningful when a mother feels safe in a maternity ward. An investment becomes meaningful when a newborn survives. A healthcare worker becomes empowered when they have the tools to save a life. And a health system becomes successful when a Kenyan does not have to travel hundreds of kilometers to receive care. Ladies and gentlemen, in May this year, we launched the Every Woman, Every...
Away from that, we get to a bit of unfortunate incident where at least 6 tourists have died after a helicopter crashed near the iconic Mount Ololokwe in Samburu County on Wednesday morning. Local responders and authorities are at the crash site with rescue and recovery operations underway. It is reported that 7 tourists were on board before the aircraft went down in a rugged, hard-to-reach section of the mountain. Smoke and fire have been reported, but details on casualties and the identities of those on board remain unclear. The Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, KCAA, has confirmed the incident, noting that investigations are underway to establish the circumstances surrounding the crash. As various political leaders continue to be summoned by the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, to respond to allegations of incitement and hate speech, Kenyans are still asking tough questions about how the commission operates. Some Kenyans feel that NCIC lacks the capacity to effectively stop such remarks based on how it has handled different political leaders. Mwaluse Meshak reports.
Soft approaches.
As Kenya edges closer to the 2027 general election, political rhetoric is growing more confrontational, and so is the scrutiny of the National Cohesion and Integration Commission. The commission had the mandate to address incitement and promote national cohesion, yet some Kenyans question why action against political leaders accused of making inflammatory remarks can sometimes take time. The question are pointed, does the commission have enough power to act swiftly, and can it operate without political pressure?
NCIC cannot do the work of the Director of Criminal Investigation. Director of Criminal Investigation cannot do the work of NCIC. That is the understanding that Kenyans should have. And that's why the process takes a bit long.
The concern have intensified following political violence in Homa Bay, where authorities have faced questions over their response to allegation of incitement.
But I can tell you something, there is nothing like NCIC being toothless. They need to explain how toothless we are. The truth is, we have an act that guides us. We have procedures that guides us. We have laws that governs us. And Meshaka, if I can go ahead, we don't work in isolation.
Some members of Linda Mwananchi movement have questioned why Homa Bay Town MP Peter Kaluma was not immediately summoned or arrested over allegation linked to the incident. Political leaders have also raised questions over whether the NCIC and other security agencies can fully carry out their mandate without government interference.
A member of parliament from Central who would not get to his home within hours he had been arrested. So we don't understand why Kaluma is still free and making all these allegations.
When you see the DCI, for example, moving speedily, arresting, it is because a political actor, all right, has breached the law, that is enshrined in that agency.
The commission, however, says it is taking action where there are grounds for investigation. In the wake of Homa Bay incident, NCIC has summoned former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to appear before the commission on Thursday, the 27th August this year to respond to allegations of incitement. Busia Governor Paul Otoma has also been summoned to appear before the commission on Friday, 21st this month to respond to allegations facing him.
There is a culture in this country. Here is a politician who hires goons are using to disrupt political rallies for others. And they are known. But you see, at the end of the day, the same Kenyans who complain are the ones who take handouts from them.
The Commission has warned that failure to honor the summons could trigger further legal action. With political temperature now rising, the test for NCIC will be whether it can apply the law consistently, act promptly, and convince Kenyans that no political leader is above accountability. Mwaluse Meshak, TV47, Nairobi.
That report by Mwaluse Meshak takes us on a short commercial break, but don't go too far. We'll be right back with more on this bulletin.
Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m.
You have to be very careful. Fake money can kill business.
Na leo mkorada yangu.
Small money, kapesa kadogo, big behavior.
I only have big notes.
Alikuwa anatafuta courage.
Yani nafaje kutengeneza kachumbari na manyanya zinakaa hivi? Ona kiki ni kama kiwaru.
Hiyo ni tonga commitment to the lie. Amejicommit.
Ndio hiyo. Mpatie.
Unajua kama una mtu kitu, hata tu salamu ya kawaida inakaa kama reminder.
Habari yako?
Sintalipa kesho.
Kesho gani when?
Si kesho ya kesho ya tomorrow.
Hiyo tena. Mzee ni burudike mchoka.
Ni burudi ya madeni.
Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on TV47. Sundays at 8:30 p.m.
Good morning.
You have my rent?
Leo jioni kama tutakuwa tumelipa rent, nauza simu yako.
Hamna pesa.
I need 3 G's to make my nails today.
Sasa hivi natuhusu aje?
Can I order now? Do you ship? Can I get blinking ones?
Mimi nilikuwa na trade. Nimeekelea kitele yangu. Kitele yangu na trade. Nikikunyuma.
Oh my God. You left me.
Nitumie ni live. Uko nje kuna wifi.
Why? Hi-fi?
Wait, so what do we call this dish again?
I have no idea.
The cucumbers are there specifically for my beauty routine.
Tamulini kero umeka kwa beauty product.
Na ameenda.
Tunafaa tukuwe na logo yetu. Like, si ni brand already.
We won't entertain divas.
No. I'm not dealing with a man child.
Amazing. Nishapenda hii energy.
Sundays at 8:30 p.m. on TV47.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it TV47 at 1. And we carry on with the bulletin, where the Rift Valley Council of Elders has condemned the Ruto administration over what it describes as the failure to curb political goons disrupting peaceful political meetings. The elders have raised concern over recent chaos in Nakuru West and Salga, warning that early political violence could destabilize the country ahead of the 2027 general elections. Mike Kello with more.
Led by the national chairman, Joel Koech, the Rift Valley Council of Elders have criticized the government over what they term as laxity in dealing with political goons accused of disrupting political meetings.
Ni kwa nini watu wanaitwa goonists, yani mikora, wanavamia mikutano, wakavamia makanisa, wakavamia kwingineko, na serikali haichukui hatua ya kutosha, na huko askari wanaonekana wakitembea miongoni mwao.
Watoto ya watu wanaumishwa, magari inapigwa makio ni sababu ya siasa.
The elders expressed concern over the recent chaos witnessed in Nakuru West and Salga, warning that failure to contain political violence at an early stage could create tension and threaten the country's peace ahead of the 2027 general election.
Ile watu napiga watu wengine wakomeshwe. Na hapa Nakuru kuna polisi. Na wale watu walipigana hatukusikia kama wameshikwa.
Kila mtu ako na right yake. Ukitaka kwenda mkutano, enda usikilize. Na kama utaki huyo mtu, enda nyumbani. Kura ni 2027.
Former Bahati MP Kimani Ngunjiri echoed the call, urging former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to avoid tribal sentiments, while calling on the Interior Ministry to treat all political parties equally when dealing with incitement and hateful remarks.
The government munataka mambo mazuri na nchi kuwe na amani. Lakini wananchi wanauliza swali moja. Ni kwa nini wale watu wa upinzani wakienda ndio wanakutana na gunzi? Why? Kenyans are asking. If you don't know that, hear from me. Shida kukuja ni rahisi sana. And the way it is going, if we are not sincere, things are going to work badly.
Meanwhile, leaders and elders from the Talai community drawn from different counties have appealed to former President Uhuru Kenyatta to honor his alleged promise to support President William Ruto during his 10-year tenure. The elders say both leaders had sought their blessings before assuming office.
When we gave him the blessings, we gave him under the understanding that he is to be the president for Kenya for 10 years, for which he did. And the current president actually honored that arrangement. Now, coming to link up with or support, sorry to mention names, that like Honorable Rigathi Gachagua or Senator Sivuna is completely acting outside the norms of the Talai.
Mike Cello, TV47.
Thank you, Mike Chalo, for that. The Mavoko Law Courts has released lawyer Angela Mulwa, daughter of suspect Rose Mbithe Mulwa, and her co-accused Nelson Masiga on 1 million Kenya shillings cash bail each. The two are accused of being in possession of a black Range Rover Sport worth 15 million Kenya shillings, allegedly stolen from the disputed 21-acre Mlolongo land parcel at the center of the Dr. Victoria Mutiso murder investigation. Detectives told the court the probe extends beyond the vehicle to establish the relationship between Mulwa, Masiga and Rose Mbithe, who remains in custody alongside her son, Chris Mulwa, under a 21-day detention order. The arraignment brings to 4 the number of suspects linked to the case, which has widened into investigations of land disputes, alleged vehicle theft, and the killing of Dr. Mutiso, who was shot dead in Nairobi's Upper Hill on the 29th of July.
Hearing Angela Mulwa and Nelson Masiga were previously presented before this court in an application by the prosecution seeking custodial orders to facilitate investigations in connection to the murder of Dr. Victoria Mutiso. Upon considering the material placed before it, this court granted custodial orders for a period of 14 days. The purpose of the detention was principally to facilitate the completion of investigations, including the examination and processing of exhibits, recovery of any outstanding exhibits, and recording of relevant witness statements. The matter has now come before the court. Upon expiry of the 14-day period, the prosecution seeks a further 7 days of custodial orders on the basis that although the investigations have been completed, the file has been forwarded to the ODPP for perusal and directions. The ODPP is yet to communicate its decision on whether the respondents should be charged or not. It is the prosecution's position that the additional 7 days are necessary to enable the ODPP to consider the file and issue appropriate directions.
And shippers in Kenya will no longer have to pay upfront refundable container deposits under a new trade financing arrangement targeting importers and logistics businesses. The arrangement, rolled out through Via Service Container Solution, will finance container-related costs, including demurrage, damage and total loss charges. The initiative is expected to ease pressure on business cash flows and reduce delays in cargo clearance, particularly for importers using the port of Mombasa. AP Mole Mask and Via Service KE will also conduct customer education to promote uptake of the service.
The service that we are offering under this partnership is called Via Service Container Solution. It's a solution that helps clearing and forwarding agents, freight forwarders, and shippers. Shippers are exporters and importers to get a waiver for container deposit. So what we've done is to innovate a solution that allows you to remove or to release that container from the shipping line without putting a deposit.
From an East African market, Via Service have been able to unlock $60 million in capital that would essentially go into paying for container deposits. That's from the data that they've shared with us. What I would probably add on top of that, it provides a position where we are not experimenting. We are bringing into the market a fully baked, ready to be absorbed solution.
In other news, the Vijana Naruto movement is calling for greater discipline, loyalty and accountability among political leaders amid rising political tensions across the country. The group has demanded that Starehe MP Amos Mwago clarify his remarks allegedly directed at President William Ruto and apologize publicly if confirmed. The movement has also called for Gatundu South MP Gabriel Kagombe to resign from the party, accusing him and others of abandoning the movement after benefiting from its support. Following unrest in Homa Bay, the group condemned political violence and urged security agencies to investigate impartially and hold those responsible accountable. The movement also wants Kenyan youth to remain organized, support development and demand accountability from leaders across the political divide. The group says dialogue, responsible leadership and lawful action can help reduce tensions and protect national unity.
During a political engagement in Kuru last week, regardless of the political disagreement that may exist between any leader and the executive, there exists a basic standard of decorum expected of every elected leader when addressing the head of state. We wish to state plainly, a political criticism is legit and protected. Personal insults directed to the institution of the presidency are not.
Mbunge Gatundu South.
The Ministry of Health, county governments and private healthcare stakeholders are strengthening collaboration to expand access to quality and affordable health services, particularly in remote areas. Speaking in Nairobi during the 2026 Kenya Health Summit, healthcare stakeholders said they are working with county governments to expand access to molecular diagnostic services. The initiative aims to equip county-level hospitals with affordable diagnostic technology, making it easier for patients in remote areas to access timely and accurate testing. The stakeholders say the partnership will support the government's broader efforts to improve healthcare delivery across the country.
And we are here today because it is the Kenya Health Summit. And what is Kenya Health Summit without actually the healthcare partners that actually participate in making sure that at least we achieve the agenda that we have for health as a nation. So I learned that even rapid malaria tests can be done at the homes. This is in congruence with what we are doing now, just at a high advanced level, because molecular tests, they are very expensive and they are really even really hard to find. So this is a unique advantage, and one of the things that we were presenting, we would love to cooperate with in the Kenya Health Summit and to showcase what we can do.
We are able to supply the county level hospitals and at the farthest regions in Kenya with our molecular diagnostics testing platforms.
We are happy and very keen to have a collaboration with the Ministry of Health, especially in the diagnostic, in terms of the diagnostic centers, and we are very happy to attend such a summit like this, like Kenya Summit 2026.